What's going on YouTube? My name is Sweat. Welcome back to another Apex Legends video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking every single legend in the game from worst to best. Now, I'm prepared to get a lot of hate in this video if I don't have your character ranked at the spot that you think he or she should be. But drop a comment down below what you think I messed up on or what you would change about my list. Just keep in mind that this is my opinion, and I know there are good players for every single legend in the game, no matter if I rank them 12th or number 1. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you guys already aren't subscribed to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I think about 90% of you guys aren't subscribed. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and go over, follow my Twitch. Link will be in the description. We always have a good time on the channel, and when I'm live, I love interacting with you guys. Without further ado, let's get into the list. Sadly, we all knew this was coming, as my man Mirage has been long overdue for a buff ever since the pork chop was discovered. I mean, first off, his decoys are super lackluster in my opinion, and it takes a special type of player to make use of them well. Like, you send your decoy out, right, and you're expecting something magical to happen, something spicy, right? But then 95% of the time, the enemy isn't fooled by it, especially if you're going up against experienced players. There's a few problems with the decoy in my opinion. Number one is that they can only do 3 things. Run straight, slide for about 2 feet, or crouch walk straight. Like I said earlier, these aren't going to fool anyone with a decent IQ. And number 2 is that they give away your position if the enemy isn't fooled. So what I'm proposing here is that the decoys mimic the player's movements no matter what they do. As for the ultimate ability, this was useful when it first dropped, but now Mirage is so loud that you can basically tell where he is, even when he's invisible. And all his decoys just stand completely still and don't really fool anybody. Similar to the decoy buff I was just suggesting, I would say that they need to add something where they all mimic the player's motions, or have a dance party like in Dummy's Big Day that we saw. So after taking everything that I just mentioned into consideration, along with the fact that Mirage's abilities don't benefit the team whatsoever and only cater to himself, I have to place my man at number 12 on the list. Alright, here comes the hate. I can already see it right now, guys, in the comment section. But before you jump on my neck, like I said down below, I want to say that this list isn't how fun the legend is to play, because if that was the case, then Octane would be up near the top for sure. But it's how good the legend is overall. That being said, his stim tactical ability doesn't offer anything insane. I mean, you can run faster, right? But that doesn't offer a good enough escape from tight situations, in my opinion. As for his ultimate ability, the jump pad, you place the thing down on the ground and you take it to get out of a tough situation, but once you're in the air, then what? Then you can try to strafe to one direction, but most likely what will happen is that you'll get shot out of the air like in a skeet shooting competition. That's the main component in me pulling Octane down this far on the list. See what I did there? Alright, enough of that. Octane isn't all bad though. He does offer the ability to use his jump pad to gain height advantages, but that's about all we got from this stim head. I mean, he could really use a buff of some sort, to be honest with you guys, and all that being said, that is why Octane comes in at number 11 on this list. One word to describe the Season 4 legend that everybody was losing their minds over before he dropped, right? Overhyped, and that's an understatement to say the least. Now, I'm sure there are people out there who enjoy playing this legend, but I am certainly not one of them. Starting off with his tactical ability, everybody is using it wrong and throwing it before the fight even begins. You should be throwing it towards the middle to the end of the fight, as that is when people will be trying to use their abilities or when someone is running in the wide open. Now, this is not a tips video though, but this does play a key part in why I have him so low on this list, and that I haven't ran into any good Revenant players thus far. Shout out Sonic for getting 10k kills on him already though. Very impressive, by the way. As for his ultimate ability, super underpowered. You go into the fight with only health, and then when you get gunned down, all of a sudden you have no health when you respawn on the beacon. So what exactly is the point? I don't really understand. Would be way better if it were shields that got depleted and then you respawn, in my opinion, because they are faster to put on. But I have tried to play this character on multiple occasions, and overall nothing special has happened. All those factors taken into consideration is why I have Revenant placed at number 10 on the list. Good old Bloodhound coming in hot with that new buff that was added with the System Overdrive event on Tuesday, increasing the scan distance to 3 times, but also making the recharge time on it longer. So overall, we got a little buff and a nerf at the same time, which kind of sucks, but I will say it does make Bloodhound a lot more usable in public matches, as the scan can basically reach all the way across Capital City now. As for ranked, I still think this legend isn't the best, but the recent buff definitely moved Bloodhound up on my list of characters. The tactical ability, which is a scan, before was super weak and only lasted about 2 seconds. Now that I mentioned after the buff, the scan is very powerful and can reach for a mile. As for the ultimate ability, I don't have much to say other than that it's pretty balanced. I do notice myself getting into too aggressive situations with Bloodhound though when I'm in this ability. The problems with this character go deeper than just the abilities, though. The thing that people fail to understand is that Bloodhound will never be the legend that everybody wants in Apex because of the playstyle of the character in general. Not meant to be super aggressive, but also not meant to be fully supportive. This is why Bloodhound clocks in at number 9 on the list. Smokescreen incoming, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get me wrong, there is a lot to like about playing Bangalore, but she's missing something in my opinion. Let's start with her passive ability. One of her best assets is that she gains a speed boost when getting shot at and is insanely useful while strafing and while escaping situations if you combine it correctly with her smoke grenades. The smoke grenades can be used to your advantage in multiple ways for you and your teammates, such as covering down teammates, escaping situations, reviving teammates, gathering loot from boxes, and much more. As for the ultimate ability, not the greatest thing in the world, and that is why she falls into the middle tier of characters for me. The barrage takes way too long to go off and rarely seems to catch enemies because it gives them too long to get out of the area when I use it. Not too much more to say about Bangalore, honestly. She is a good enough character to be played with in public matches, and if you're good enough, you can even dabble with her in the ranked mode. Overall, though, the fact that she falls into the middle tier and her ultimate ability isn't nearly as good as some legends in the game is why she comes in at number 8 on the list. This man is more toxic than those 10-year-olds in your Xbox Live parties in 2009. Yes, that's right. It's your boy, Caustic. Now, I guarantee you nobody likes fighting against a Caustic because all you do is start choking on his damn gas throughout the whole session. I mean, he is insanely useful in buildings and tight areas, but in the open, this guy is a walking target that can easily be gunned down. His tactical barrels can be used to block off doors, force enemies to rotate certain ways, and much more, which are all reasons I like this character when I'm using him. When you go against him, though, it's a nightmare, to be quite real with you. As for his Nox ability, his ultimate ability, I think it's great, and because it instantly makes the enemies retreat and rethink their attack plan. This can be used to get teammates revived easily, and when you're in the gas, the enemies will barely be able to see you at all. The two downsides that I see to Caustic, though, is that number 1, like I said earlier, he's a walking target if you run out in the open, and number 2 is that the gas affects your teammates too much during fights. If you run into your own teammates' Caustic gas, you are basically as useless as the enemy getting shot at in it. All this being said, Caustic is a solid defensive character, and that is why he hops into the number 7 spot on the list. Mr. Underused in Season 3 quickly became relevant again recently with the buff to his drone. Now, anybody who has played against a good crypto player could tell you off the bat that going against him is one of the most annoying things ever. The constant drone pings combined with the fact that the drone takes 20 bullets to destroy and has negative hit reg makes it insanely powerful. You can keep his drone around you at all times, recall it instantly and use it again, and it moves at light speed. Crypto has not only become a good character in public matches, but also is frequently used in high-level competitive gameplay as well. Another thing about him is that once you use his ultimate ability, you can still fly his drone around, which I think is a little ridiculous, but that's just me. Only problem I have with Crypto is his mobility in open areas, but other than that, taking all these factors into consideration is why I have Crypto ranked so high up on the list this season, coming in at number 6. Very solid character overall. So when you think of a team player, the first thing that comes to mind is Lifeline. Since it's a team-based battle royale, this is a perfect character to have in the game, and that is why she cracks the top 5. Starting off with having faster healing all the time, whether you have a white shield or a gold shield, it's a huge advantage to say the least. As for her tactical ability or her drone, even though it took a little nerf where it doesn't withstand storm damage, it is still insanely useful. It basically makes it so that you don't have to carry heals as Lifeline. Having health on hand at all times can only work in you and your team's favor. The only problems that I have with Lifeline is her ultimate ability and the lack of escapability. The ultimate is only really usable if you or your teammate needs a purple shield, and that's not even guaranteed the first drop, which often leads to me not even using this ability at all. Even with the ultimate being so weak, the healing options and the revive shield that comes along with Lifeline definitely overpower the negatives. This is why I have her ranked at number 5 for Season 4. French Fry coming in hot at number 4. Watson has quickly jumped up high on the tier list because of her ability to block off areas and her trophy system being able to charge shields and deflect grenades. Watson is great in buildings because of her fences are set up correctly. It's insanely hard to get in, let alone see in the room at all. As for her ultimate ability, it can stop all types of throwables, along with being effective in stopping any type of airstrike. Watson is a very usable character in public matches, along with being a staple in the rank scene for a few months now. Only negatives again with Watson are her lack of ability to escape tough situations out in the wide open, and the fact that her trophy system destroys teammates' grenades as well as enemies. All that being said, she is a very solid character overall, and that is why she comes in at number 4 on the list. Everybody was praising the fact that this big guy got a nerf the other day, but let me tell you, it isn't nearly enough to knock him out of the top tier of legends in Season 4 by any means. This is a man of many talents. He has the ability to heal in his bubble as fast as Lifeline can for one, can revive teammates in his bubble faster than any other legend can, has a gun shield almost all the time which allows him to take extra damage, and his ultimate is very valid when pushing teams or defending areas. The only negative about Gibby, if you can even call it that, is that he is a big body and has a huge hitbox. That negative can honestly be brushed off his shoulder though, because this man is an absolute tank. Top tier character for sure, and everybody should agree with me on this one. That is why Gibraltar ranks at number 3 on the list. Phasing into the number 2 spot, we have Wraith. What makes her so good is her phase. Without it, she honestly wouldn't be anything special. The fact that she can go invisible without getting hit while in this state is absolutely insane, and when it's used right, it can get you out of tough situations or even get you into the mix of things if you honestly want to do so. As for Wraith's ultimate ability, her portal is amazing for late game rotations and being able to reclaim the height advantage if you want to jump down to finish off a kill. Her portal can also be very effective in getting teammates to safety if they happen to go down in the wide open. My only problem with this legend is that her phase takes a few seconds to actually activate. Wraith is definitely an elite legend in the game though, and should not be overlooked by any means. That is why she comes in at number 2. Shouldn't be any surprise here, as this is the character that I run most in Apex Legends, and I think he has a lot going for him. Pathfinder, while being the most mobile legend in the game, is also the fastest to get around the map with. The reason I play him is because you can be super aggressive and then get out of fights instantly in the blink of an eye if you need to. His grapple or his tactical ability can be used in so many ways that I can't even list off. And as for his ultimate zipline, it's a great way to get high ground and to get to areas that no other legend can in the game. That is why Pathfinder grapples into the number 1 spot on the list. Alright everybody, so you probably saw the tier thing in the thumbnail. Now I tried my best to make a tier list of this, and all they had was bare bones crap on this website. So the S tier would be Pathfinder and Wraith, A tier would be Gibby, B tier would be Watson, Lifeline, Crypto, and Caustic, C tier would be Bangalore, Bloodhound, and D tier would be Revenant, Octane, and Mirage. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Drop a like if you did. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.